We've got the latest Commanders injury updates for you guys today on the Commanders Report. Welcome into the show. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. We got the latest Commanders injury news coming your way here over the next 10 minutes or so. But before we get into the content today, don't miss a thing by subscribing to the Commanders Report today. We're the fastest growing Commanders news channel here on the YouTube platform, and that is for a reason, guys. We give you guys free and informative Commanders content every single day, weekly injury updates, weekly in-depth previews of every single Commanders game. And of course, this weekend we've got this offseason. We've got breaking news coverage whenever the Commanders make a big move. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already and join the Commanders Report family today. So some good news here on the injury front here. We finally got to see the helmet on Marshon Lattimore at practice. It was his first official Commanders practice today as the Commanders prepare to take on the Tennessee Titans here in Week 13. And it certainly seems like Marshon is trending in the right direction. Now, he is still questionable to play versus the Titans. And when Dan Quinn spoke to the media today, he sounded a little bit hesitant that he would actually be ready to go for this game against the Titans. But something that we pretty much know for sure now that Marshon's at practice is that if he can't go against Tennessee, that almost locks him in to have his season debut with the Commanders when this team plays the New Orleans Saints out of the bye week in the Superdome. So that would be a hell of a story if that ends up being Marshon's first game in a Commanders uniform. But just plain and simply, guys, it would be really nice to have Marshon on the field, even against kind of a lowly team like the Titans, because this defense is in sore need of a true number one corner. We've talked about it even before this team ended up trading for Marshon, that they really needed somebody to come in and be that dominant number one presence on the outside that can go and press coverage and just shut down an opposing number one receiver. When Marshon Lattimore is healthy, he absolutely does that. And you take a look at what this cornerback room is going to look like once Marshon Lattimore eventually gets into the fold. I do think Benjamin St-Juste will be retained as a starter on the outside. We'll see how everything plays out. St-Juste has actually played pretty well on the outside, so you might see St-Juste stay out there. Maybe you keep Noah Igbenogany in the nickel cornerback spot. We'll have to see what ends up happening here in this cornerback room moving forward. But you take a look at the defensive stats here for the Washington Commanders, and you guys can see that it's not necessarily the best defense in the National Football League. All right, they're 18th in points per game allowed, and by the way, that number has been dropping significantly during the Commanders' 3-game losing skid, and all these numbers have, man. You're 28th in red zone defense, 23rd in third down defense. You're not turning the ball over above league average right now at just 11 takeaways. So this is a defense that has struggled as of late and has had their struggles in spurts throughout the 2024 season. Now, they've had some good moments as well, and I have said that once you inject a number one corner into this defense, it should get a lot better. So hopefully these numbers can improve once Lattimore eventually gets on the field. So predict it for me down there in the comments section. Will Marshon Lattimore play this week versus the Tennessee Titans? Simply give me a yes or a no for today's pinned comment. In just a second here, I'm going to be telling you about our sponsor today at PrizePicks. And while I talk about PrizePicks, find that pinned comment at the top of the comments section and simply give me a yes or a no. And with that, let's have word from our sponsor here at PrizePicks, which is the best place to get real money sports action all on your phone this football season. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect, and you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Also, PrizePicks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you just play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, where every Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineup. So you guys can take a look here at what a PrizePicks projection looks like. Let's take a look at Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend. I'll take the more on Russell Wilson passing yards, the more on receiving yards for T. Higgins, and more on receiving yards for George Pickens, the number one receiver there in Pittsburgh. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you use code CLNS after playing your first $5 lineup on the PrizePicks app today. PrizePicks, run your game. Then I also said this, guys, after the game against the Dallas Cowboys. You had to kind of get rid of Austin Seibert. Now, the Commanders didn't necessarily do that. They put him on IR with what they're classifying as a groin injury. But the question is, if he was still hurt and he still wasn't 100%, why the hell are you playing him, Dan Quinn? This makes absolutely zero sense. If he's dealing with a groin issue, if he's still dealing with the injury he was dealing with before, why would you even play him? Put Zane Gonzalez in there, right? Now, maybe that's easy for me to say in hindsight. Maybe he was looking good in practice before the game against Dallas, and they felt like he was good to go. Maybe Austin Seibert was lying to Dan Quinn, saying he was good to go, feeling like Zane Gonzalez was gunning for his job and was doing a good job. Who knows what actually went down? But it's just definitely questionable here that a guy like Austin Seibert here, who is still injured clearly in that Dallas Cowboys game, was put in to kick in that game. And then not only that, but when you have the game-tying touchdown, or would have been game-tying touchdown, you could have gone for 2 and went for the win. Instead, you trust the injured kicker to tie the game, and he misses the PAT. I mean, this just stinks of malpractice on the part of Dan Quinn. I said it on Sunday. I said it the day after. I'm going to say it right now, man, because plain and simply, if Zane Gonzalez is the kicker for the Washington Commanders in that game, they win the freaking football game. You don't have a missed field goal. You don't have 2 missed extra points, and you would have won that football game in miraculous fashion, I might add, if Zane Gonzalez is the kicker instead of Austin Seibert. And that is either on Austin Seibert for lying to Dan Quinn's face or on Dan Quinn for not being smart enough to figure it out. Now we get to the rest of the injury updates here for the Washington Commanders today, which is Brian Robinson Jr., who suffered an ankle injury in last Sunday's loss to the Dallas Cowboys, was in practice today, and he is currently questionable to play in this week's game against the Tennessee Titans. And with Austin Ekeler currently dealing with a concussion, I certainly think we want to see B-Rob on the field as this team's #1 running back. And speaking of Austin Ekeler here, both he and Andrew Wylie were not in practice today. They're still in concussion protocol. And honestly, guys, I would say it's going to be tough for both of these gentlemen to get out of concussion protocol and play this week versus the Titans. Now, I will say the backup and kind of reserve running backs here and the depth that we've had in the running back room here in Washington this year has actually been pretty good. Jeremy McNichols is averaging 4.9 yards per carry right now. That's very, very efficient. Chris Rodriguez Jr. Had a really good game in the New York Giants game when he was tasked with kind of being the fourth quarter running back. He was awesome in that role. So even if Austin Ekeler is out this week, you are going to miss that 4.8 yards per carry he's had so far this season. But if you have Brian Robinson Jr., who's more of your power back, and then you have McNichols and Rodriguez to be your supplementary pieces, I think that this running game can still get going with the running back room that the Commanders have at their disposal. And then when it comes to the right tackle spot, with Andrew Wylie likely out this week for the Titans game, I would start Cornelius Lucas over Trent Scott. That's where I'm at right now, guys. Trent Scott was so bad last week against Dallas when he came in, when Wylie came out. And with Brandon Coleman playing as well as he is in pass protection right now, I would trust him to get that full-time starting spot at left tackle and then put Cornelius Lucas, who has a ton of experience both at left and right tackle, to take on the right tackle spot this week. But let me know what you guys would do. Down there in the comments section, type CL for Cornelius Lucas or type TS if you'd rather stick with Trent Scott. Now, before I go here, I do want to give some love here to Sean Taylor. This is the 17th anniversary since number 21 passed away in really tragic fashion, man. So if you want to show some love to Sean Taylor here and you want to spread some love and some positivity here the day before Thanksgiving, spam those 21s for me down there in the comments section. Of course, Sean wore number 21 here in Washington. He is a Redskins and a Washington football legend forever. He would have been one of the greatest safeties to ever play the game if we didn't lose him so tragically early. So if you guys want to spam those 21s to show some love, you guys can do that right now. That'll be the end of today's Commanders News and Rumors segment here from Chat Sports. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. We'll have more Commanders content on Friday this week. And, of course, then we will have our live watch party on Sunday starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Time for Commanders versus Titans in a must-win game for the Burgundy and Gold. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, go raise some hail.